Hey there, dorks! Sparrows here, and today I'm playing Mr. Sandman, because I'm going to deliver you the Pokemon of your dreams. And I know you're thinking,
hey wait, isn't this the Mega Musharna video? Mega Musharna? That's not a Pokemon I want. Musharna's just a cheap, drowsy knockoff. That would never be the Pokemon in my dreams.
well, that's where you're wrong, because today on Mega Mania, I'm turning the overlooked Musharna into the overpowered Mega Pokemon you didn't even know you wanted. Okay, so there's only really one thing you need to know about Musharna, and that's that it eats dreams to create Dream Mist. So when designing Mega Musharna, I wanted to play with and explore the concept of Dream Mist further and awaken Musharna's full potential. So I started with this, a Musharna that wraps itself into a psychokinetic shield of Dream Mist. Look at him! Look how cute it's become! Looks like a little brain, an adorable itsy bitsy brain. Pretty cool, right?
No, not really. Didn't you promise something awesome? This design is pretty expected.
Whoa, ye of little faith! I'm not done yet! This is only the first half of Mega Musharna's design. Yeah, that's right, Mega Musharna has two forms, Awakened Musharna and Sleeping Musharna. And Sleeping Musharna is where we go off the rails and into Mega Mania territory. Pop quiz, what does this Musharna model remind you of? Come on, Rorschach, what do you see? I'll tell you what I see. I see a magic lamp. Did you answer a magic lamp? If so, 50 points to Gryffindor. If not, it's okay, you're probably a Hufflepuff and I'll give you 20 points for trying.
Everything's made up and the points don't matter. 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 That's right, the points are just like J-Lo's husband's name.
But seriously, every time I look at Musharna, I can't help but see a magic lamp. And magic lamps are vaguely related to dreams, right? Dreams are aspirations you wish to become reality, and magic lamps house genies that can grant you those wishes. So my sleeping Mega Musharna bridges those concepts. When sleeping, Mega Musharna's greatest personal dreams are manifested into a physical form out of its Dream Mist. As sort of a design pun, that form is a taper spin on the genie trio, complete with Fabio-like hair to make Ampharos jealous. Lore-wise, my explanation for this is that Musharna secretly dream of becoming powerful Pokemon, and they look up to the legendary genies. Both Musharna and the genies are native to Unova, so perhaps Musharna are familiar with the legends of the region. Or they play the OU tier and see Lando T everywhere. Also, the existence of the dream world arguably suggests that dreams occur on the same astral plane, so perhaps Musharna share a hive mind affinity for genies. I don't know, sweet dreams are made of this, who are you to disagree? Now it's mechanics time! When awake, Mega Musharna's Dream Mist creates a psychic cocoon, adding 35 points to defense and special defense. The enhanced Dream Mist also adds 15 points to Musharna's attack and special attack stats. When sleeping, however, Mega Musharna's physical defense drops back down to 85 points, and special defense only keeps 5 additional points. Mega Musharna's special attack stays consistent at 122 points, but its physical attack stat skyrockets to 135. Both forms also take on a Psychic Fairy typing, which shores up Mega Musharna's weakness to Dark and Bug in exchange for Steel Poison weakness. This essentially makes Mega Musharna a Fairy type Aegislash with uncommon weaknesses and an immunity to Dragon attacks. Mega Musharna's ability Dream State has two effects. The first half allows Mega Musharna to change forms while afflicted by the sleep status condition. The second half gives +1 priority to the moves Sleep Talk and Snore. Speaking of moves, let's look at Musharna's move pool real quick. I'm giving Musharna access to a myriad of new physical attacks for its sleeping form to experiment with. Play Rough, for example, will become the physical Musharna's bread and butter that takes advantage of Musharna's new Fairy Stab. More Nightmarish Musharna may take a page out of Landorus's playbook and use the move Punishment. This move is mostly situational, but I wanted to give Musharna some dark coverage without dipping into the over-distributed knockoff pool. To give Musharna coverage against steel types, it now has access to Force Palm. I also considered the possibility of superpower. I'm not sold on it. I think it might be too powerful. I will, however, let you ponder the implications of a priority superpower on Musharna, and I'll let you be the judge as to whether that is OP or not. Nearly every Mega Musharna set will require 2 attack slots reserved for Rest and Sleep Talk. For wall-breaking physical Musharna, I suggest Play Rough and Zed Headbutt or a coverage move. While the sleeping form's massive attack stat draws players to physical Musharna, Musharna's special attack stat is both nothing to scoff at and consistent. This allows players to build Musharna like a Crocoon with Rest, Sleep Talk, Calm Mind, and an attack. Dazzling Gleam will likely become the go-to move, but Psychic or Psyshock fits in on teams that can eliminate Dark types. You can also create a non-traditional Paraflinch set that uses T-Wave and Snore. If you don't know, which you probably don't, Snore has a 30% chance of flinching, so, you know, priority flinch, man. Alright, so now that I've said pretty much everything that needs to be said about Mega Musharna, I want to take a step back and talk about balancing. Initially, Mega Musharna wasn't going to have priority sleep talk or snore, it was going to be able to straight up attack while sleeping. While I so badly wanted that to work, I came to a crossroads where I had to choose between keeping fairy typing or the ability to attack while sleeping. And ultimately, fairy typing does a lot more for Musharna, and I can sort of hot fix a way to keep with my initial premise. The reason fairy typing is so good for Musharna is because it shores up all of the defensive weaknesses from its psychic typing. And Musharna has the stats to be a defensive mon, especially under its awakened mega state. And what's cool about priority sleep talk is that it circumvents Musharna's abysmal speed stat without having to drop any stat points into speed. Also, I think the gambling nature of rest talk is really cool. And while I think a lot of people will be turned off because of that, it's actually a great way of balancing the staying power of this mega because Musharna is so naturally bulky. And real quick, the reason why it was too powerful as a fairy psychic that could attack directly while sleeping is that it had an extra move, first of all, which gave it a lot of breathing room to play with many different sets, which is really cool. But the problem is it has access to Barrier and Calm Mind, and it could run a set that's very similar to Cosmic Power Clefable, but it would be better because it would have access to a instant heal that gets rid of any stats effect, including T-Wave, which is a good way to deal with those sort of Clefables in a pinch. So that's it for this episode of Mega Mania. Let me know in the comments what tier you'd think Mega Musharna would end up in, or whether you'd prefer a pure Psychic Musharna that doesn't need sleep talk to attack while sleeping. Once again, I want to thank my friend Mike Regan for making this cute little P-Brain a reality after the rough sketch I sent him. We teamed up for a few more Mega Mania videos, so if you like gimmicky megas, subscribe for more content. Now, as always, here's a sneak peek at the next episode of Mega Mania. Enjoy.